Hi, Bob Loeffler here, and welcome back to the Fearless Agent Success Series. And if you haven't already, go to fearlessagent.tv and hit subscribe, and you'll get all the videos in this series. So somebody once said that commitment is like a ham and eggs breakfast, right? The chicken was involved, but the pig was committed. I want you to be committed to success in real estate, okay? So I'm going to tell you a little story about me. I used to be a scuzzy biker, greasy biker, okay? This is before, I had a giant afro, crazy. So when I was 20 years old, I was working the graveyard shift at a mobile gas station, okay? Glamour job. And I was a high school dropout. Let's not go there. But I was across the street from an all-night 7-Eleven. So the guy at the 7-Eleven, he rides a motorcycle. So I'm out there talking to him one time, and I said, "So you ride a motorcycle?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what kind of motorcycle is it?" He goes, "Are you kidding me?" I go, "No." He goes, "It's a Harley." I go, "What's that?" He goes, "You wouldn't understand." I said, "Well, hey, let me take it for a ride." He goes, "No, horrible idea. No, you're not going to take it for a ride." I said, "No, really, I'm a daredevil. It'll be fine." He goes, "I think that's a worse reason to take it for a ride." So, of course, I sold him on let me take it for a ride. So it's got straight pipes. I sit on it. I go, wow, this is real metal. I go riding down Indian School Road in Phoenix, Arizona at 110 miles an hour, peeling the paint off the side of the buildings. And I bring it back. I put down the kickstand. I turn it off. And I said, I am buying one of these. Now, I had just rolled my truck upside down because I was crazy. And so I go out to breakfast I go out to lunch every day with my best friend, Jeff. So we go to La Fonda Mexican food for lunch like we always do. And I said, "Jeff, I have an idea." He says, "Yeah, what's that?" I said, "You and I are going to buy matching black Harley-Davidson Sportsters, and we are going to ride to all four borders of America. What do you think?" Without even thinking about it, he says, "That's right. That's what we're going to do. I'm in." No thinking, that was it. So every day we would go and eat lunch and we would focus on that. How are we going to do it? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? We were obsessed with it. So 1 year later, we had saved up enough money to buy matching black Harley-Davidson Sportsters. And we were riding off into the sunrise. A bunch of our friends met us at the zoo in the parking lot. And we rode off and went to all four borders of America, 7,000 miles in 1 month at age 20. Can you imagine your 20-year-old kid doing something crazy like that? There were no cell phones. There were no credit cards then. I don't know how we did it, but it was crazy. But it was because we were committed and obsessed with it. So I want you to be committed and obsessed. So there's things that fearless agents keep track of. When you're committed to being successful in real estate, and we're going to have to pretend that your goal is to do listings mostly or only for this exercise. So I want you to keep track of certain things. So these are the things that fearless agents. So the day each week. By the way, weeks are an artificial invention by humans. There is no lunar thing or solar thing that has the week. Is kind of how we plan our lives. There's supposedly 52 of them. In a realtor year, there's really only 40 because, there's all these holidays. There's Christmas. That's 2 weeks out of your schedule. There's your birthday. That's a 2-week extravaganza. Then I got to get you out of rehab. So literally, I think there's about 40 weeks in a realtor year. But each week, keep track of these things. The number of listing appointments you schedule, write that down. The number of listing appointments you go on, attended, okay, write that down. The number of listings you list. The number of sales you make. In other words, a buyer under contract that you are working with is a sale you make. The number of your listings that go under contract each week, and then the number of closings you have, and then the names of the clients and all the amounts of all those things. If you know that each week. But if I'm going to coach you, if I were to ask you, how many listing appointments on average do you schedule each week these days? I would want you to know that number. If you're a buyer only agent or mostly, I would ask you how many in-office buyer appointments do you schedule each week? And that would kind of tell me how you are doing. So each week, I'm not the kind of coach who asks you to report your numbers, because there's no skill you get from reporting your numbers. So coaches who are bad at coaching are constantly asking you to report your numbers, and that's because they don't have any skills to teach you. I'm going to teach you the skills. Your numbers are going to go up dramatically. You don't have to worry about that. So each week, again, kind of rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe and know your number of listing appointments you scheduled, the number of listing appointments you went on, the number of listings you took, and kind of rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on your focus on time management and prospecting. And that would kind of help you out to keep track of yourself. So I'm going to give you 4 ingredients to success that every fearless agent knows. Number 1 is knowledge, so please write that down. Number 2 is goal. Number 3 is accountability, which is different for fearless agents than it is for all the other coaching programs. And number 4 is the basics. So the knowledge I want you to have is that listings are the name of the game. You know, it's always been that way. People always say list to last, but if you want to focus on listings mostly or only, yeah, listings are the name of the game. So never lose sight of that. And I want you to think 40 minimum. So, you know, there's a guy I coach. He was 1 week in real estate when he signed up for coaching with me. And I said, I want you to do 40 listings at 7% in your first 12 months in real estate. And he said, I don't think I can do 40, which is a healthy amount of self-doubt, which I like in people rather than overconfidence. He ended up doing 120 in his first 12 months. But for you, I want you to, and my goal for him was just 40, so you might do better than that. And then the question is, if he can do it, can you do it? Well, yeah, there was nothing special about him. It's, you know, my old mentor and friend Floyd Wickman always said, it's not what's special, it's not who people are that makes them special, it's what they do every day that makes them special. So if anyone can, I can, is your motto. There's nothing amazing about the fearless agents that are doing $1 million a year and doing 150 listings a year. There's nothing amazing about these people. Believe me, they would tell you that. And then the other one is, I'm in control, not the customers. So whatever baloney you've had to put up with before you became a fearless agent, that's over now. When you're a fearless agent, I always say you sit on a throne made of the skulls of your enemies. You don't have to put up with the junk that other people do. I'm not just changing you. I'm changing the world you live in for you. That's the way this works, okay? So let's talk about the goal. What are the ingredients of a goal? You've been to all these goal setting things and they say, oh, you know, you got to be able to write it down. It should be written down. It should be visualized if you can't imagine yourself doing it. Here's the real secret to goal setting, okay? If 40 listings is your goal, you don't commit to the goal. You commit to the process that makes that goal happen. You just don't get off the phone until you've scheduled 5 a week. If you schedule 5 a week, 2 will cancel, you'll go on 3, and you'll get 1 at 7% and keep 4. So the goal is 40. The goal is 5 scheduled a week. But you don't commit to the goal. You commit to the process, which is don't get off the phone until you've scheduled 5, and then that will happen for you. And then the accountability is just knowing what your priorities are. Other coaches always talk about accountability because they don't have any skills to teach you. That's not what accountability is. Accountability is, what are your priorities? So maybe for some of you, like me, God is a priority. I'm a church guy, okay? I don't want to screw that one up. Family. I don't know if any of you have a family or you know somebody with a family, you've ever been in a family, you've heard of families, but there's the family. Then there's your business. Sometimes business has to come before family. Like one time I asked my wife, I said, honey, if the money quit coming in, would you still love me? She said, of course I would. And I'd miss you. So, you got to do that. But Tommy Hopkins once said, you can be out of balance for a period of time to achieve a goal, but you can't do it long term. And then there's yourself. Now, me time is important to me. So I go to the gym every day. I go to the gym that has ashtrays on the treadmills. It's low impact, believe me. But I'm there every day. For 22 years, I have gone to the gym every single day. Do I always go at the same time like these religious zealots? No, I don't. But I go every single day, and I don't have my phone with me. It's about me, and I need a little break from the universe, I guess I would say. And then there's the basics. So what is the most basic in our business? It's getting a listing. That's the basic, okay? To get a listing, we have to go on appointments. Oh, that's a plural word, appointments. How many appointments does it take to get a listing? Probably 3 at the most. How many prospects am I going to need to get that many appointments? I'm going to have a lot more. And then how many contacts am I going to have to make to get that many prospects? And the answer is all of them. It doesn't matter. And you'll know how many contacts you have to make after you've scheduled 5, and it'll be different this week than it will be next week, and it will be different next year than it was this year, probably a lot easier. So until the next video of the Fearless Agent Success Series, I want you to focus on the basics. I want you to be committed. I want you to be obsessed, and I want you to get your skills, your schedule, and your systems right. And I want you to feel free to call me anytime at 480-385-8810. And let's see if you would be a good fit for Fearless Agent Coaching, because if you are, you're going to get rich. And if you're not, I'm still going to help you either way. So call me anytime, 480-385-8810. I want to make you a fearless agent. Thanks.